Hello everybody, I'm Catriona Morten, I'm a sensory-motor psychotherapist, and today what I'd like to talk to you about is how to build resilience. But before I jump into that, if you're enjoying these videos, then can you give us a like and subscribe to our channel, because it really helps us get the message out to more people and it helps us help more of you. Why is resilience important and what is it? Well, resilience is our ability to cope with things, to be able to deal with things, to kind of have that inner sense of whatever life throws at us, we're going to be fine. It's also our ability to bounce back from things, to recover from things. So if something has gone wrong or something's happened, that it doesn't really take us down, that it doesn't have a massive impact that goes on and on and on. And there's some people that you know, and nothing ever seems to affect them. They go through awful things or things happen and they just always seem to either stay positive or cope really well or bounce back from things. And they're often the people that you kind of go to if you need somebody to help or to bounce something off. Whereas there's other people that are really badly affected by what those people would consider quite small things. That everything seems like a really big deal, or when something has happened, it takes us ages to recover from it, to get over it. And that can be really problematic for people. You know, nobody wants to live their life like that. We'd all like to be a bit more resilient and a bit more self-reliant, and to, you know, really have that confidence in ourselves and not to be afraid of going out and doing things in case something terrible happens. The amount of resilience that we have, sometimes it's got a lot to do with our attachment, our early years. Because people that have a secure attachment style, they are often very well regulated, they're really good at seeking help when they need it, they're very connected to themselves, and they have a lot of confidence, and they've usually got a really good support network around them. But for those of us who haven't got such a secure attachment style, that there's been wounds there, our needs haven't been met, we've not been regulated as much, then that has a massive impact on us, on our reliance on other people and the amount of resilience that we have. If our needs have always been met, and they've always been met in a really consistent, reliable way that really suits us, then we've got loads of it. We can cope, we know where our support systems are if we need them. But for others, it's not been the case. And for those people, meeting their own needs can be really problematic. Reliance on other people can be really problematic. That sense of not having confidence, not feeling strong, not feeling like the world actually is a safe place to go out and walk about in. For those people, it's very limiting not having so much resilience, knowing that if anything happens, you know, it's going to affect them quite badly and they won't bounce back from it very quickly. And there's a lot of different ways of building our resilience up. Even the people with secure attachments, everybody can have their resilience depleted through not sleeping very well, through not being well, illness, too many stressors. A lot of things can impact it, but that's often a bit temporary. When those things sort themselves out, we get back to our full capacity. It's that capacity that we want to be able to build on. How can we get ourselves more resilience, feel more stronger and feel more confident in the world? It all comes from in here. One, what we believe about ourselves and how we feel. Our ability to stand strong, to have a good lengthened spine, to always be able to keep our head up when things are happening, to always have a sense of strength within our body. All of those things we can work on. When we know what impacts on us, what do we find difficult? What's depleting for us? When we can imagine those things and imagine doing those things, then we can notice the impact that it has on our body. What starts to happen? Does your breath get harder? Does it get more shallow? Do you go quieter? Does your body just go really, really still? Does it start to pull in on itself? Do you start to disappear? Are you dissociative? Do you switch off, not be able to think and not be able to act or move when things happen? Because if we have a freeze response to something, then that's really depleting. We never have that sense of getting an outcome, getting over things, taking action on things. So we have to know these things about ourselves. Take our critical, judgmental head off about it, because that's just the way we are. Everything can be healed and everything can be changed. So if we know we haven't got much resilience, then let's set out on a mission to build that up. Think of things that are difficult. Notice what happens. As you notice them, it gives you a clue as to what's needed. If you're shrinking in on yourself, then you know that you need to be able to take up more space. What helps you take up more space? So if you know that you shrink away, then notice it, join in with it. Okay, so my body wants to make itself really, really small, invisible, and not be so seen. Then join in, give it a really, really good squeeze. When you release it, does it create a bit more space? Or do you still go back to holding yourself in that position? Or does it allow you to just be a little bit more, oh, right, okay, I'm here now. If you feel like you lose strength, how can you get yourself a physical sense of strength? Sometimes it helps people to push against walls, but if we haven't got a wall or a tree to push against, we can create some resistance within our body. If you put your hands on the outside of your knees and push in with your hands and out with your knees, you're creating a bit of resistance through your arms and your legs. When you do that and hold it for a bit, really give it a good push till you can feel all your muscles start to shake and burn a little bit. When you release it, does your body feel like it's a little bit more upright and a bit more of a sense of yourself? Because when we're shrinking or freezing, we're losing a sense of ourselves. If you know that parts of you go into freeze and go really, really still, is there other parts that you can keep going? Can you move your feet inside your shoes? They're working, they're moving. Can you squeeze the muscles in your bottom? Can you do one side at a time? Can you do them both together? It gives you that sense of doing something, of having a body, having your muscles. When you can move different parts of your body, even if it's like moving your eyes around the room, it might be difficult, but can you do that? Can you make a figure of 8 with your eyes? Can you make them work? What you'll notice is that the parts that are frozen just automatically start to unfreeze. And we need to keep practicing that, thinking of the things that we don't like to do, thinking of things that aren't so pleasant, being aware of what happens to us, and sorting it, regulating ourselves, what allows you to breathe a bit more deeply. You know, if you really squeeze your arms into your sides so you constrict your breathing, when you let it go, you automatically take a deeper breath. Does that help ease your breathing? If it does, brilliant. There's another tool for your resilience bag. Know what you're doing. You're working on being more present, being more upright, being more confident. You know, you just need to look at somebody who is confident and you know that that's the kind of stance you're aiming for. You can even try just kind of faking it till you make it. What's it like if you lengthen your spine and you bring your head up? Does it make you feel more fearful or less fearful? Just do some experiments with yourself. It's your nervous system, your body. You want to be able to have the strongest body and the most resilient nervous system that you can. So instead of shying away from the things that we don't like, just take one step nearer to them and be aware of what happens and regulate and resource yourself. Get your bag of resources, things that you know work for you. And then you can take another step towards it. And, you know, we don't have to jump in and do it. It's not like, you know, that kind of immersive therapy, just do it until it gets better. That's pretty torturous. We're much better to be able to do it in a very measured, controlled, empowered way that we actually, by the time we get to it, we're managing it, we're feeling okay. Every time you work on something that's shrinking your nervous system, You're widening that window of tolerance, your capacity to cope. So, really being aware of what it is that you're doing so that you're working towards being whatever it is that you choose that you want to be. It's not for your therapist or anybody else to decide. It's for you to decide. How do I want to be able to act in certain circumstances? Do I lose my voice? Am I not able to speak? Do I never speak up for myself? Do I go really, really quiet? If that happens, your breath's going to be really tight as well. Maybe, a lot of the muscles around your throat and your face might go really, really tight. Recognise that. If you go very quiet, can you take an out breath? Can you just start practicing? Okay, I'm feeling, like I'm really, really quiet. I don't want to speak. It's obviously come from past experiences. Can I just let my out breath out? Can I make it a little bit louder than I would normally make? At first it'll be like, oh God, that feels really, really difficult. But you've got that new experience. Nothing terrible has happened. You've just made your out breath a bit longer and a bit more audible to you. We practice these things on our own so that we're comfortable with them before we take them into the outside world. So getting that relationship with yourself first before you go out and do it outside, and then you're going out with your tool bag and it feels much more doable. It's you and your nervous system and your resilience and your resources against whatever it is that you're finding difficult. So I really hope that's helpful, useful, and something that you can relate to, or somebody that it does relate to. And if you've enjoyed this video, give us a like, subscribe to our channel, and I look forward to seeing you all again very soon. Bye.